Hi, my name is Daniel, and today I want to prove a very simple point. Look at this graph. On one axis, you've got price, and on the other axis, you've got features. As you pay more for a piece of tech, like a phone or a laptop or a smartwatch, the more features you're supposed to get. But that's not what makes this graph special. What makes this graph special is actually the curve of the graph. This is not a line, it's a curve. And what this curve basically means is that the more you spend on a phone, the less you get for your money. Now, this might not make sense at first. Aren't we spending more for features which we're getting? Why would that be the case? Let me give you an example. Look at Samsung's flagship of the year, the S24 Ultra. Right now, you can buy this phone for a lot of money, like 1.2, 1.3 lakhs. Let's take away its flagship feature, the zoom lens, right? Isn't that what Samsung always markets the phone on? Let's take that away for a second. Now you don't have a 100x zoom, you might have like 30x zoom. How often do you zoom in past 30 times? Like past the honeymoon phase of buying a new phone, how often do you find yourself going, you know what, I want to zoom in 40 times, 50 times? Because every time you zoom in past 30 times, you are utilizing the extra 30,000 rupees you spent on the phone over an S24 or an S24 Plus. What do you lose from taking away that periscope lens? You still have the AI features because that's just software. You still have circle to search, which Samsung seems to be all about in the marketing. Now let's cut the S24 Ultra's price in half, 50,000 rupees. What you can get is something like a good Motorola or maybe a good OnePlus phone or even a good Vivo phone for the price. Those phones still give you a zoom lens. Now, it might not be as good as the S24 Ultra's zoom lens, but you're still getting zoom. For these 50,000 rupee phones, you're spending half the money of an Ultra, but you're still getting a zoom lens with a pretty reasonable amount of zoom. Now, unless you zoom in past 30 times, multiple times a day, you gotta ask yourself, do you really need to spend an extra 80,000 rupees on an S24 Ultra? On these mid-range phones, you're getting a wonderful display. It's an AMOLED, 120Hz, smooth, all the good stuff. You're getting fast charging, probably faster charging than Samsung's own Ultra phone. Hey guys, Future Daniel here. Just in simple words, 50% the price can get you 80 to 90% the phone. Depending on where you think you lie on this graph, based on how you use your current phone, you can use that to decide how much you really need to spend on your next phone. Because I feel like when most people upgrade their phones, they decide, oh, I need to spend more on my next phone just because I want a better phone. So the next time you're shopping for a phone, one thing you might want to do is take these Ultra phones that everyone wants to get and cut the price in half and look at what makes these Ultra phones different from just a mid-range smartphone. And ask yourself, should you really pay that extra 50,000 rupees for such a nice phone? What we just talked about is called the law of diminishing returns. And it doesn't just apply to phones. It also applies to automobiles, it applies to all tech, it applies to home appliances, it applies to pretty much anything you can buy. The more you incrementally spend on a phone, the less unit value you're getting for your money beyond a certain point. And the key is to find that point, to find that price point where you're getting the most features for your money, and any features you're getting above that price point you don't really need anymore. Knowing this price point could save you a lot of money, not just on your next phone, but also on your next car, on your next stove, on your next TV. That is the insight I hope you gained from this video. I hope it was useful, and I'll see you in the next show. Goodbye.